So this isn't going to be a review, but rather a comparison. But before I get started, hello everyone, and welcome, and thank you to all subscribers because I'm not always going to be writing big write-ups along with my video reviews, which I will then post on HeadFi and stuff like that. Stuff like this, short videos, are going to be just uploaded on my channel with no fanfare or anything accompanying it. So the only way you'll know about them is by subscribing. So thank you to those who have subscribed. I will be posting this on my new website though. My new website, aornic.com. Pretty easy to type in. I just started it yesterday. I'm still working on it. It's a work in progress. But I'll be posting all my content from all my presence online onto that site. So please check it out if you have the time. So what this is going to be is a comparison of two headphones which are essentially the same. So these look very similar to you right now. I'm sure you're just looking at them right now and thinking, yeah, these look very similar, except for the color. What's going on there? Well, earlier I did a review of this pair of headphones. One of my first reviews, actually. This is the ZMF Omni. Now, the ZMF Omni I have is the cherry variant. This is $900. This is, I covered this in my review. I talked about how I really like the soundstage. The really nice, pleasing mid sound. A very fun pair of headphones, not extremely analytical or anything like that. But now Zach has come out with so many different variants that I had to hear another because this is my only experience with the Omni till now. So about a week or so ago, I got my hands on this. This is the Omni Cocobolo. Now this, in my opinion, is a very beautiful pair of headphones. I'm not sure how well the camera can pick it up, but you've got a very nice reddish brown finish right here. Natural finish, by the way, no paint, nothing like that. This is how the wood was taken from the tree. Just beautiful. I really admire how these look. Oh, and the sliders, just to clarify, many options to customize your experience with ZMF. So the sliders on the Cherry Omni are black, and these are iron. Iron sliders. And you've got Cocobolo wooden cups, cherry wooden cups, black sliders. Oh, and both of these right now are currently using ZMF cowhide ear pads. And oh yeah, the pilot pad. Now the pilot pad, since this is a really new pair of headphones, this was in fact completed by Zach and signed on June 23rd of 2016. And this is like from last year, this one. So the pilot pads have also come a bit of a long way. Originally, you have this protein pad, which I have on the Cherry Omni, and on the Cocobolo, I have lambskin pads. Now, these are much more silky feeling than the protein leather. Besides that, in terms of thickness, they're about the same. Comfort, they're about the same. I think these might feel a little cooler on your head, I'm not sure. But the weather will need to warm up quite a bit more for me to know that. It's been raining in England, yeah. So, very nice, silky feeling pilot pad. Now, for the sound. Now, this is going to be... Some people are not going to believe when I say that there is a sound difference. Because it sounds a bit like that kind of argument people have where they compare copper cables with silver cables and that whole thing. Because there is a difference in the price of these two. This is $900 new. This is $1,000 new. This, the Blackwood, and some other variants of exotic limited edition woods are all $1,000. The Cherry will always be $900 apparently, except when it's on sale or on B-stock. So the Cherry Omni Cherry is a softwood. Now the softwood characteristic, what happens is you get a very slow decay. Compared to the other Omnis, you get a very, if you're listening to music, it's not as fast. This is the most laid back, I think, of all the Omnis there are. This has a very large soundstage. According to Zach, the largest in all the Omnis. And I was very impressed when I first put these on and I thought, wow, this is a semi-open can. That is an immense soundstage. And it's true, this has a very open soundstage. It has a certain characteristic to it where it's very it's a little mid bassy. So I compared it to the ZMF Vibro and I thought this is a bit more natural sounding than the Vibro, which is also mid bassy, This has mid bass. It has very accentuated lower mids, which give a very pleasing, very realistic sound to instruments like acoustic guitar. Acoustic guitar on this sounds extremely lifelike, and I have tested this by recording my own acoustic guitar and playing it through this, and it sounds just like I'm playing it right next to myself, that whole thing. It has, this is also one of the lightest Omnis. I think this and the Padok, I'm not sure how you pronounce that, those are the lightest Omnis currently. And you have, okay, mid bassy. It doesn't extend extremely low in the bass. When I got this many months ago, I thought, wow, this is the lowest I've ever heard a headphone extend, sub bass wise. Then I got the THX100. That was much more bassy in the sub bass region. And now, this used to be second. Now the Meze has taken over this in terms of second most sub bass I've heard. And this would be a third, because this is a harder wood. It's a bit porous, like the Cherry, but it's harder wood. It has more sub bass than the Cherry version. This also has quite a bit reduced soundstage than the Cherry version because of the hardwood characteristic. I would actually compare this more to a closed pair of headphones. Yes, it doesn't sound as closed off as the THX100 or even the Vibro did, but it still is noticeably more closed off than the Cherry version in terms of soundstage. This also has a cleaner overall sound, a leaner overall sound. What I mean by leaner is when I describe this as having a bit more of a mid-bassy sound, yeah, there's a little bit of detail loss in that area. It sounded extremely nice, but there's some detail loss there. It's not as neutral. This is more neutral. This is a more neutral pair of headphones in terms of how it doesn't have that hump in the lower mids. It feels very natural in terms of how it just doesn't bloom. This has a lot of bloom to it. That is what the characteristic of the Cherry wood is. This doesn't have that so much. But because of that, this feels like it has more detail in the mids and the upper mids especially compared to the Cherry. And the treble on both is obviously is a little rolled off. Quite similar actually in that regard. The bass, sub bass, this has more. This has a bit less. This has more mid bass though. This has like a very clean mid to bass ratio sound, whatever you want to call it. So yeah, besides these, everything else is pretty much the same. The only difference is this is newer, and this is, I'm just biased. I'm sorry guys. I'm very biased right now after getting these, because that is an incredible looking pair of headphones. Reddish brown color. If you want to really bring the red out, you have to shine a flashlight on top of it. I really like the iron sides, lambskin on top. Cowhide, I have to insist on cowhide because yes, that does actually, to my ears, increase the soundstage a bit and gives the bass a bit more control in the lower regions. However, it's not as good to see on your head, so keep that in mind when you're looking at Omnis in general. The lambskin is a lot easier to fit on your head, and these require some break-in. Besides that, they use the same Odyssey type 4-pin mini XLR connectors. Both are extremely good pair of headphones. I will have to part with one, most likely the Cherry. I wish I didn't, but traveling and stuff like that, I can't lug these all around with me all the time. So I have to bid one of them farewell. But I have to applaud Zach for truly looking into something and knowing that there is a difference in the woods. I wish I could. I'll be going to Can Jam, guys. If there are more Omnis there, I will try them and I will compare them to these, and I will let you know in a blog post what I find, because there's quite a big difference between these two. So that has been my comparison. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.